Evan, there's a lot to unpack there, but I guess the one kind of actor that we haven't really focused on is the ETF issuer. So like ETF Securities. What's the incentive for an ETF provider or ETF issuer, and how do you guys get paid?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely a business like every other. So our revenue is the management fee of the ETF effectively, and that's not obviously straight profit. So there's a lot of costs and things that go into running an ETF. So there's a whole range of direct costs that are really associated with a particular ETF. So they can be things like fees for custodial services, fund administrators. We need to have a registrar to communicate with investors, exchange fees, so trading on the ASX or CBOE markets. Quite often ETFs will track an index. Those indices aren't free either, so there's index providers that charge fees as well. And then there's a whole other range of services like auditing, legal, tax, all those sort of things. So they're kind of what you would think about as being the direct costs that the fund's management fee would pay for. And then indirect costs would be things like an ETF issuer would need to run a portfolio management team and have systems and things in place to successfully run the underlying portfolios. They also have distribution staff and marketing and those sort of things to promote the ETFs. And then of course there's usual business overheads and then an element of profit margin as well at the end of all that.
It's interesting because we often using management fees to compare ETFs, but we don't often think about all the different costs involved, including the cost to actually replicate an index, which is can be quite expensive depending on which index you're copying.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's different fees are applicable for different types of funds as well. So there's certain cases an index might be more specialized than a sort of plain vanilla index, so it may have higher index fees. In other cases, it may be that you're trading in jurisdictions that are more expensive from a transaction cost perspective and a custody perspective as well. So it could be to do with the actual costs of holding and trading the underlying assets. But yeah, there's definitely a range of different inputs that determine what goes into the management fee and why certain management fees are higher and lower than others.